am on the rooftop of the old textile warehouse in Red Hook, heels sinking between tar patches that still smell like summer heat. My phone is aimed at the skyline behind me, and I tilt my chin so the last pink light catches the hollow of my throat. I swipe the filter that makes my skin look like I have spent the week in Mykonos, and not arguing with Ezra over whose turn it is to call the plumber. The caption writes itself, "Somebody better hurry before the sun sets on me." I hit post, tag the location, and wait for the first heart to appear. I met Ezra 5 years ago at a fundraiser for the Maritime Museum. He wore a navy suit that looked like it had been waiting in his closet for exactly this night, and he told me without smiling that he had read every plaque on every boat in the harbor. I laughed because I thought he was joking. He was not. I liked that he did not try to impress me, and I liked that when I interrupted his story about rigging, he only blinked once and kept talking. By dessert, he knew I grew up in Portland, hated cilantro, and had never finished a novel written by a man. I knew he was 33, had never taken a vacation longer than 4 days, and believed in contracts the way other people believe in God. We married 11 months later on the deck of a schooner while the sun bled into the Atlantic. I said vows I thought were true. He said vows he meant. The first heart on my post is from a guy I used to hook up with whenever my flight got delayed at O'Hare. Then come the fire emojis from coworkers who have never seen me in anything tighter than business casual. 37 likes in 2 minutes. Ezra has not looked at my stories since last spring, but the algorithm will make sure he sees this one. I picture him in the conference room at his office, the one with the glass wall that faces the river. I picture him stiffening when my photo blooms on his screen. I want him to feel the same pinch I felt this morning when he left without kissing me goodbye. This morning, we were in the elevator of our building. I was holding 2 mugs of coffee and he was scrolling through an email about a merger. I said, "I booked us a table at Leora tonight. 8 o'clock. Wear the shirt that makes you look less like an accountant." He did not look up. "Cancel it," he said. "I have to finish the prenup draft for the Hargrove deal." I laughed, loud enough that the woman beside us flinched. "You are kidding. You promised." He kept scrolling. "I am not." I stepped out on our floor without answering. The elevator doors shut between us like a guillotine. I spent the afternoon at the wine bar under the bridge, telling my friend Selene that Ezra was becoming a robot. She twisted her rings and said, "Maybe he is just tired of carrying the whole marriage." I rolled my eyes so hard the bartender asked if I needed water. When I got home, Ezra had already left for the office again. The apartment smelled like the basil candle I hate and he keeps buying. I opened the window, lit the cigarette I promised my mother I had quit, and watched the ferry churn white foam toward Governor's Island. That was when I decided on the thirst trap. Now, on the rooftop, my phone buzzes. Ezra has liked the photo. My stomach flips. I wait for the text that says, "Come home." Instead, the screen stays dark. The wind shifts, bringing the smell of the river and something metallic, like coins left in the sun. I feel suddenly stupid, standing here in a dress that rides up every time I breathe. I go downstairs. Back in the loft, the lights are off except for the lamp Ezra bought at a Copenhagen flea market the year we spent a long weekend there. I kick off my shoes and walk to the mirror. My reflection looks smug, like a woman who has just won a small war. I hear the key in the lock before I see him. Ezra steps inside, jacket folded over his arm, tie already loosened. His eyes go straight to my dress, then to my phone still glowing on the counter. He sets a thick envelope beside the fruit bowl. "We need to talk," he says. I cross my arms. "I thought you were working late." "I was. Then I saw your post." He gestures at the envelope. I realized we have been operating under different assumptions about what this marriage is. I smirk. "It is a photo, Ezra. It is a billboard announcing you are available." His voice is flat, but I hear the crack underneath. And it is not the first time. I open the envelope. Inside is a set of papers labeled postnuptial agreement. My name is typed neatly on every page. My throat goes dry. "You are joking." I am not. He sits on the edge of the sofa, elbows on knees, like he is talking to a client. "I drafted it after the gala in March, when you told the entire table that the only reason I made partner was because I am boring enough to bill 20 hours a day. I told myself you were drunk. Then came the weekend in Montauk when you disappeared with the surf instructor. I told myself you were restless. This morning you called me an accountant in front of strangers. Tonight you are soliciting attention on the internet. I am done telling myself stories." I hear the words, but they slide off like rain on glass. "You are overreacting," he stands. I am leaving, the room tilts. Where will you go? Hotel for now. Then I will find an apartment. He walks to the closet, pulls out a small duffel, and starts folding shirts with the precision of a soldier. I watch his hands. They are shaking. I have never seen his hands shake. I say, you cannot just leave. I can. He zips the bag. I have been staying for the idea of us, but the idea is cracked. You keep striking it. I grab his arm. I was trying to make you jealous. I wanted you to fight for me. He looks at my hand until I let go. I have been fighting for 5 years. You never noticed. He walks out. The door closes with a soft click, the sound of something finished, not broken. I stand in the quiet and wait for relief or rage. Neither comes. Instead, I feel the way I did once as a child when I stepped off a moving carousel and the ground refused to stop spinning. The next morning, I wake on the sofa, still in the dress. My neck is stiff and there is a smear of mascara on the white cushion. I check my phone. The thirst trap has 412 likes and a DM from the ex who uses too many tongue emojis. Ezra has not viewed my story again. I text him we can fix this. Coffee. The bubble appears, then vanishes. No reply. At the office, my coworker Davender raises an eyebrow at the dress. Walk of shame, he asks. I almost tell him to go to hell, but I need allies, so I laugh like it is a joke. At lunch, Selene meets me at the food truck lot by the Navy Yard. The wind whips her hair across her mouth as she says he really left. I nod. She exhales. Honestly, Jules, I sort of get it. I blink. Excuse me, she shrugs. Last month at the Oyster Bar, you told that story about Ezra forgetting your birthday, and you made him sound like a villain. But I was there. He flew in from Chicago that morning and still organized the rooftop dinner. You just did not like the flowers. I stare at her until she looks away. I post another photo that night, me in his Oxford shirt. Nothing else, captioned, missing my favorite person. I imagine him seeing it, softening, calling. The likes pour in. He does not call. On Thursday, I go to the gallery opening in Dumbo where our friend Luca is showing photographs of abandoned amusement parks. The room smells like cedar and cheap white wine. I scan for Ezra, but he is not there. Luca hugs me, then says quietly, he asked me not to invite you both at the same time. I picked him. The words hit like a slap. I laugh too loudly and say, of course you did. He is the bigger patron. I drink 3 glasses of wine and leave before the artists talk. Friday, I take the afternoon off and walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. The cables hum above me like strings on some giant instrument. Halfway across, I stop and lean over the railing. The East River is the color of steel. I whisper, come back, but the wind steals the words before they reach even my own ears. I draft an email that night. Subject line, I was wrong. I write 3 paragraphs, delete 2. I write, I see now that I treated your steadiness like a weakness when it was the gift. I hover over send, then save it to drafts. On Saturday, I show up at the hotel where I think he is staying. The lobby is all marble and echoes. I sit on a velvet chair and wait. After an hour, he appears, wearing running clothes, hair damp. He stops when he sees me. You should not be here. I stand. I love you. The words feel brittle, like they might break in my mouth. He sighs. Love is a verb, Julia. You never practiced it on me. I reach for him, but he steps back. I have a meeting. I watch him walk to the elevator, shoulders straight, never turning. I go home and open the prenup. Page 4 lists division of assets. He has left me the apartment, the car, the savings. He asks only for the vintage telescope he bought the year we thought we might move to Chile and name our children after constellations. I sit on the floor and press the metal tube to my chest like it is a heart. My mother calls Sunday morning. I am on the fire escape, watching a tugboat push garbage down the river. Ezra called, she says. He asked for the china back. The set your grandmother gave you. I close my eyes. He can have it. My mother pauses. He also said you might need a lawyer. After we hang up, I sit until the sun is high and the metal burns my thighs. I hire a lawyer recommended by Davender. In the conference room overlooking the Flatiron Building, she slides a folder across the table. He is being more than fair. Sign it and you both move on. I flip to the last page. There is a blank line beside my name. I imagine Ezra signing his name with the same steady hand that once traced constellations on my back. I uncap the pen, then stop. Can I think about it? The lawyer looks at me like I am a child asking to skip dinner. You asked for time. He gave it. Now you are wasting it. I leave the pages unsigned. Instead, I drive to Montauk, to the motel where Ezra and I once spent a weekend eating nothing but lobster rolls and salt. The room is smaller than I remember. I sit on the edge of the bed and open Instagram. I scroll back to our first anniversary, the photo of us on the ferry, his arm around my waist, my head thrown back laughing. I scroll forward to last month, a selfie I took while he slept, captioned, "Married to the job." I delete the post. I text him, "I am at the Surfside. Remember the room with the green door?" I wait. An hour later, a message appears, "I remember. Do not wait for me." I throw the phone against the wall. The screen spiderwebs, but the message stays lit. I sign the Prenup the next morning in the lawyer's office. She notarizes it, slides the copy into a crisp envelope. "He will be relieved," she says. I nod, but I do not believe her. That night I go to the jazz bar in Fort Greene where we had our first date. The saxophone player is the same man, older now, cheeks ballooning as he hits a high note. I sit at the bar and order the drink Ezra always ordered, rye, 1 rock. The bartender raises an eyebrow. "Haven't seen you two in a while." I swallow. He is busy. I drink 2 more, then walk to the subway. The platform is empty except for a rat nosing a spilled bag of chips. I think, this is my life now, and the thought is so clear it could be a headline. I run into Ezra 3 weeks later. I am coming out of the bodega on our old block, holding a pint of ice cream I do not remember choosing. He's wearing a jacket I have never seen, dark green, tailored. He looks taller. He stops. "Julia." My name in his mouth feels like a foreign currency. I clutch the ice cream like a shield. "Hi." We stand on the sidewalk while people stream around us. He says, "You signed." I nod. "You already knew." He does not deny it. I ask, "Are you happy?" He considers. I am lighter. The word lands between us like a feather and a knife. I watch him walk away, and for the first time I notice the woman waiting at the corner. She has curly hair and a tote bag with a library logo. He greets her with a small smile, not the wide one he used to give me, but a smile nonetheless. They turn the corner and disappear. I move out of the loft the following month. The new place is a studio on the 4th floor of a walk-up in Ridgewood. The radiator clangs like a dying robot, and the upstairs neighbor practices violin at 2 in the morning. I buy a mattress on Craigslist and hang the one photograph I kept us on the ferry, before everything. At night I lie awake and listen to the city hiss outside the window. I think about the telescope Ezra took, the way he used to find Jupiter without a map. I wonder if he shows the new woman the stars if he names them after her. My mother visits once. She stands in the middle of the studio and looks around. "You did this," she says. Not angry, just factual. I nod. She hugs me, but her arms feel careful, like I am glass. On what would have been our 6th anniversary, I go to the roof of the Ridgewood building. There is no skyline here, only water towers and blinking planes. I open Instagram and start to post a photo of my empty ring finger, then delete it. Instead, I turn off the phone. The sky is clear. I search for Jupiter, but I never learned how. I lower the phone and stand in the dark, hands in my pockets, waiting for something I no longer expect to come.